Come on in the room. Welcome to FinOps in Full Bloom. I'm Thalia, your friendly neighborhood fam. And today we are in the room with one of the people who is now new to CloudZero, but not new to the FinOps space. So sit down and take notes. We're going to have a fun time learning about a life in a FinOps lead role. So Anderson, I want to say Anderson Oliveira is a delight to begin with, but I'll do your intro first and then you can share a little bit about you. How's that sound, Anderson?
Yeah, let's go there.
Let's go. All right. 23 years in IT as a FinOps leader and now at CloudZero. I love Anderson's catchphrase on, I don't even think it was a catchphrase, but I'm going to make it a catchphrase. Inside of LinkedIn, it says, I help leadership adopt FinOps that actually delivers business value. Come through on actually delivering business value. So we'll talk about that in a moment, but I'd love to just open the floor, pass the rain stick to you. Anderson, would you like to give a little bio about yourself?
Yeah. Well, I'm so happy to be here and have this conversation with you. You know, you're a star on the FinOps area, on the cloud environment. You know, it's so nice. I feel honored and flattered to be here with you and have this conversation. Yeah. Well, from all the, that I could tell about myself, one thing that I like to say that I am a proud father of two boys, 17 and 13. I am married with Patricia for 24 years. Next year we reach 25 years together, and she's my first date, and we are still together to today.
That was some date. That was the best date you've ever had. You say can't get better.
Exactly. I come from Brazil, and now I'm living in Portugal for the last 3 years. So very happy for all of this. So all of this comes first, and all of the other things comes in sequence. I am a chemical engineer by training, but when I started my first job, I knew that chemical was not my thing.
No.
So don't ask me anything about chemistry because I will not be able to answer.
Oh, for real? So if I asked you the element for iron, let me tell you, my daddy used to give me the periodic table he didn't let me have posters of singers. He gave me periodic tables. So in elementary school, she was all like, oh, what's the element for iron? I was like, ooh. Fe. Today, I know it.
And for me, it's easy because Fe is the same letters as we call that in Portuguese, which is ferro. Fe start with, so it's easy.
Come on, chemistry. So
I know the two columns of the periodic table because one teacher of ours created a song that helped us to memorize. And then I know, but other than that, I forget everything.
This is the best about you segment that we've had. You are delightful. Congratulations to you and Patricia on almost 25 years together. Bless your two children that you're proud of them, even though you're dealing with teenagers. So God bless both of your souls for dealing with teenagers. Oh Lord. Okay, we're gonna switch.
Oh Lord, and give me strength because it's not easy.
Give him strength. Okay, so let's hop in because I really do want to ask you about you're typing this out in your LinkedIn bio and you're saying I help leadership adopt FinOps that actually drives business value. What a claim. And I see you've been a leader in FinOps on repeat. So I know you follow through and I'm ready for the formula. First question. I am. Right. I'm here for it. How do you, when you go into these teams or companies, determine business value?
Right.
Or do you do it alone? Is it like a group?
You know, determining the business value to me looks like you're going to a doctor and trying and making a lot of questions in order to discover what the value is. It's just like a therapy where you speak and you ask, and then you together with them, we discover what is the value. And the reason is that IT have never thought about that for years
Mm.
during the CapEx era, when you buy all of your stuff and machinery and computer, put in there, and finance just take care about the depreciation of the assets.
Yes.
So IT never had to think about it for a long time. But then cloud came. It's how easy it is to just push a button and you have all sort of resources. But at the same time, every engineering decisions is a check that they pass on behalf of the business owner.
Yes, the cost of
So
pushing code.
it exactly, and now we need to come back and step back and say, okay, as every second that goes by, we are spending something on behalf of the company. We need to make this with purpose. We need to make this with value.
Yes.
We need to make this in a sense that it goes towards the objective of the organization. So the question is, what is the value that the service that you have now on the cloud is delivering for the organization?
That part.
And that's really, it's easy to understand, but it's not that easy to figure that out. And the reason is that as far as you are from the revenue end of the corporation, the more difficult it is to determine the value.
Yes.
Think of a system that is providing information about customer. You have a customer API internally to serve different services, or you have an HR application in a company that do not HR things but do anything else. So what is the value of that application? Is it cost per number of employees? Is it cost per number of people that you hire?
That's so
And
true.
then when it comes
I went
when
to
it comes
being
to
a DevOps
yeah,
engineer. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm so sorry.
yeah, no. So imagine now that you are now in an architecture that is multi-service architecture. All right. So each one of them are independent, autonomous, feeding each other in order to give a final objective of the corporation. So, what is the value of each one of those services or agile teams, if you will, that is responsible for one or two services? So, what is their value? The value that they're delivering? What is the value that people are expecting from them? So that you can measure the efficiency of what you're spending on behalf of the company in order to deliver the so-called value that you're
And
expecting
I
from
think that's
them.
a great point because that to me sounds like where FinOps can step in. Where it helps is understanding all of the different people, roles, or people call personas, dealing with that. Because every persona, in my head, I always say every persona has its own perspective. So
Exactly.
they're saying, oh, yes, this is so we can get this brand new feature out, shiny new feature. And then the end user might say, yes, it's a new feature, but it's not the feature I wanted. It's not. The
Yep.
engineer might be saying, I was very efficient. I deployed, this amount of code and I fixed this. But okay, that was great. It was part of the platform that I didn't even use. And I don't know a
Yep.
difference in how much code you sent or little code you sent unless it is directly impacting. So understanding who the center of it is and how it splays out to all the different stakeholders, I think that's absolute gold. You can come in the room and change things by just changing that. So
Exactly.
I have a next segment. I want to move swiftly through it so that we can get through all of them. So bear with me. It's called Hot Takes. I ask you a question
Okay.
and you just say, what's on the top of your head? You ready?
Oh my goodness. Okay, let's go. Let's
Okay.
see.
Okay, first
Let's see how it
question.
goes.
Optimization starts with cutting. Fact or myth?
Myth.
Okay. Why? You're fun.
I, I have a friend that is dear to my heart. His name is Eric Norman, and we are always talking about FinOps. And he says, if we want to optimize everything and take that to the limit, why don't we shut down everything? You know, you're gonna save millions and millions
You
and
say
millions
millions,
and
just don't
millions of
start at
dollars.
all. I agree with
Just don't
you.
start at all.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that it can feel like an easy win by just saying shut it down, but to your point about actually driving business value, that is really understanding the purpose of what these things are doing. Second hot take.
Yeah.
Hot take question number
Yeah.
2.
Okay.
Why did you choose CloudZero? I mean, you're a FinOps lead, you're a FinOps deep in it. How did you decide that CloudZero aligned with you?
Not only CloudZero, but the fan position that is the FinOps Account Manager.
Come on,
And I will
fam.
tell you why. CloudZero will give me the opportunity to be exposed to many different use cases.
Yes,
We, as FinOps practitioner, we have in our heads very clearly what the framework looks like.
yes,
You have very clear what the end game looks like. Now, what is interesting and looks like a puzzle to me, and I love to solve puzzles, is how do you take the existing pieces of the company or organization puzzle, reshuffle or rearrange them in order to achieve what the framework tells us is the right thing to do.
yes,
And that's really challenging. That's really fun. And being an a manager will allow me to be in different organizations with different flavors of maturity and see how we're going to be implementing FinOps uh, on that organization. Because to me, FinOps is not something that is rigid. It needs to be like this, boom, 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 done. No, actually, the end game of FinOps is deliver value. Period.
yes. And it
Right. This is
develops
the end game.
agility. You know, you become agile mentally. You become able to accept information and inquisitive, different team members. I mean, I think about the way that I move. I dance. I dance salsa most nights out of the week.
Mm,
You can go
nice.
from, yeah, right? I love it. Grew up dancing salsa on my daddy's feet. It's in my culture, it's in my blood. And then bachata as well, dancing compa. So these are all part of my heritage. And so I can switch from one to the next. And the reason why I have that agility is because I understand where I need to be strong and then sometimes where I need to be soft and where I need to follow and when I need to lead.
Right.
So it's a
Right.
dance the same way that you are going to develop all these different skills and learning and hearing. With this client, you need to be firm. And with this client, you need to be gentle. And this one needs a little bit
Yeah.
more support. And so, since
Yeah.
we're speaking in that lens, I'd love to take everyone, heroes, I want to take you through, since we have a seasoned FinOps lead in their room, what it is like
In the
in
room.
their room.
It's in the room.
I'm channeling my daddy. So they're like, girl, where are you from? Okay. I am a bouquet of cultures. Okay.
Okay.
So, a
many
bouquet.
places. You're everywhere in terms
Yes.
of culture.
So I would love to know what a day in the life of you is when you're trying to move a team to crawl. And then next to walk and then to run. We have about 3 minutes in the segment, so I don't want to rush you, but I want you to know so that everyone can catch the good tidbits. I know that your notebooks are starting to get filled, so we're going to make sure we drill in. Anderson, let's start with crawl. What do you think about, and what do you what are you implementing for the crawl phase for a team or a client?
I have one word for you: visibility. Crawl, you start crawling when you're making the steps and doing the things that allows to have visibility.
Yes.
And within this crawl, you have different levels. Okay, let's start with overall cost. All right, and put this visible for everybody or for the stakeholders that are required. All right, then provide them visibility of how much each one of the units are spending in the organization, and
Yes.
then you start breaking that down until you get to the level that you feel is the right level. People are doing breakdown until the level of a feature. Imagine that you
Gotta
can
love
roll
it.
up feature until the top level. This is amazing, but not everybody needs that. But what everybody needs is visibility. They need to see how much they're spending. That's
Okay.
the crawl for me.
Check. We're at crawl. You've got visibility, data's ingested, possibly at CloudZero. Shameless plug. I know. Ah, stop booing me. So the
If you want visibility, CloudZero. Dun,
CloudZero,
dun,
single
dun.
pane of
Boom.
glass. So you have that, and you've got your single pane of glass visibility. And now you're going to go on to your walk phase. What is walk phase, and how are you transitioning a team? Humans really can be resistant to change. So how are you flowing them through? Maybe there's a motivator near that walk phase. Beyond visibility, are you showing them some benefit? And what is the walk phase? It doesn't have to be in one
To
word.
me, walk phase is budget.
You have a formula.
And I
Come on, give
do.
it to me. I'm ready.
I do.
You said, I'm here for it. Okay, please continue.
so
Budget.
let me. So what does this little word now double click budget? Boom boom. What does that mean? This means that one, the units needs to be the business units need to be very well defined.
Yes.
Number two, you need to agree with senior management, finance. You know,
Yes.
you now starting to get more FinOps personas engaged. You need to engage with finance, senior leaders, product managers, procurement in order to agree on a budget that will be followed by the engineering teams throughout a certain period, let's say 1 year. So when you pursue to have a budget ready, then to me, you are walking.
Nice. Oh, that's good. Because now you have an idea of what your spend in total is. And now you have an idea of where you want to go and what your thresholds are. And you're going to be able to monitor that. Perfect.
Exactly.
Then we're at run. I'm walking. I've got a nice little stroll on me. And I think, come on, we're both walking. Look at us. Look at us. And now we're about to just, that the horn goes off and it's time to run and beat the competition. What exactly are you setting as the goal for a run?
Unit economics
How did I
is
know
run
that?
to me.
I knew that was
You
coming.
know that, right? You you're asking, but I know that you know.
I hadn't thought of it till you said it, but it's true. Whenever I'm with my clients, I know when they're
Yeah, yeah.
mature, when they're ready for unit economics.
And you know the beauty of that, and that's what I preached on the FinOps X Barcelona, where I have the honor to be one of the presenters in there.
Nice.
So this is when, imagine that you are able to put unit economics into your budgeting exercise in the sense that you have for the next budgeting cycle objectives in terms of unit economics.
Yes.
Let's say cost per user, and you say that, okay, we expect that for the next period, our cost per user will be this, considering if there is seasonality or not, okay, depending on the period. But you already know because you have some history, and you go there. And let's say that you're improving your unit economics. Wow, maybe things are going well, and maybe the improvement means that you're maybe spending more on cloud, and
Oh,
that's totally okay because you are pursuing value, not cost, right? That
that
comes to that first question as optimization cut. No, 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 no. Maybe you're
say
spending
it
more,
again for
but you're
the
getting
people
more
in the
value.
back. The people in the back need to hear it. You're pursuing what? Value.
Value. You're pursuing value. All
Not
right. And
cost.
that's it.
Man, that's hard. That's hard to switch. I think the first unction is to cut costs, but have the tough question of asking why we're doing this and how we're doing this really cause us to dig deeper, and it can reveal things. So along your journey in implementing the FinOps framework for these different companies, it sounds like you've developed a formula, visibility, budgets, and then you're talking about unit economics. Do you have things that you avoid or indicators that let you know this one might be a tough time and a trick to overcome it?
Um, Hold on. People here are doing some noise.
No, it's fine. I'll tell you mine. I'll tell you mine first. We'll tag it in. Tag me in.
Yeah.
My first is
Yeah.
that when I am working with a client, when I know that it's going to be tricky, it's going to be a rough road, is when I ask them, how are you measuring your success? And then they're like, I said, it's crickets in here. Is this mic on? Does anyone in the room know it's tumbleweed going by? Or
Yeah. Yeah.
when it sounds like it's about to go into the blame game and someone else is
Mm,
responsible and it gets passed around to that's not mine. And that's important to know so that I can say the very first step seems to be giving visibility from that persona's perspective and then finding motivation based on that person's perspective. That's my trick to get past that it's not my problem. And I have no idea how we're measuring goals. I was kind of just personally focused on what I was doing. Like it was just, we were all paying attention just here. And so, what about you? Do you have an indicator that lets you know that it might be a tough road and a trick to use to get over that hump?
yeah. I think that when I identify that there is a general understanding that FinOps equals to cost savings, I immediately know that there is many things that I need to cover slowly in order to change that mindset.
Definitely. Okay, so you've changed some mindsets. How? How do you do it slowly? Are you having conversations talking them about their bill? Are you implementing alerting so that they can see it with their own eyes? Are you having follow-up discussions about cutting spend? All of the above?
Yeah, so all of the above included. I think that the only way that we are able to tell people or to convince them that cost per se is not sufficient is starting adding to the conversation uh, um, the unit economics and the value. And because value and unit economics can maybe sound something a little bit nebulous or
Yes.
people cannot get the grasp of that,
Yes.
we can start talking about efficiency. All right. So efficiency thing, people maybe understand what that is. So let's say, um, okay, we have this cost, but are we being more efficient? So efficient based on what? yeah, so let's talk about this value thing. So what your service is providing, maybe number of customers that you have inside your application or number of API calls. You're providing more, you're getting more calls so that, or maybe you're storing information and you're being more efficient on the way that you store. So you're storing more, but your cost of storage went higher, but you're storing more stuff than you used to because you make a combination of resources in order to get that point, or maybe switching between cool and hot and things like that. So, that's the type of conversation that we need to start having with people in order to demonstrate them that the nature of cloud is variable cost. It's variable. Variable based on
Yes.
what? On usage. The more you use, more you pay.
Yeah,
All
that's
right. Are
definitely.
you using more things to produce better things? Or are you using more because you're used to that, or whatever reason that would indicate that there is an opportunity to optimize, kind of thing?
And I think that engages them to talk about the ways that they're improving instead of feeling like they're deficient. They can talk about how they are efficient, and then you can deep dive into ways to even optimize. Because I do believe engineers, at least engineers that I've spoken to, they want to improve. At least
Yep.
infrastructure.
Yep.
And yeah, so you found the golden ticket right there. I like that.
Mhm.
Nice key point. Okay, we're wrapping. It's the end of the whole session. I want to end with an easy breezy question. You seem to be getting it done a lot. What is on your get it done playlist? When you need to get something done, what are you listening to?
Okay. I like two types of music. One is country music, and
I didn't see it coming.
I will tell you why. I am a musician myself. I play
Really?
the guitar, I play the piano, I sing, and for those that are listening to me, when you play that simple triads and you have three people just singing each one of the notes and produce that close harmony. Oh man, I love
Oh,
that. And
beautiful.
it's not that complicated harmony. It's just simple harmony, but it goes in block. Oh man, I really like to hear that. And normally we find that in this genre. Of course, there are others, but I like that one. And the other one is CCM, the Christian contemporary music, any type. I just put on here
Really? You
when I want to
are
get it
a
done.
big old surprise. You're just a big old box of surprises. I absolutely love it. Me, my go-to is salsa. I love it, love it, love it. Buena Vista Social Club is a classic for me. I'll listen to them all day long. And then, of course, I love bossa nova if I need something in the background, very chill. Those are probably the two genres that I listen to the most, and next to Bollywoods. It has been so delightful to chat with you. Thank you so
Oh.
much for coming on the podcast.
Oh, it was so, so nice to have this conversation. It was so nice.
See that? Look
So
at you. You're
nice.
so
That's all I can
relaxed.
say. It was really nice.
Yeah, it feels good, and you're just so jolly and warm. So I'm so glad that we got to spend time. I cannot wait to see you in person now that you're part of the team. Cheers to CloudZero, and cheers to you. Welcome. Do you want to say goodbye to everyone? Three,
Thank you.
two, one. Bye.
Ciao.
Ciao,
Ciao,
heroes.
everyone.